Good afternoon, everybody. Today I am going to make what is called crack rigatoni chicken. Now, I know the name, but that's just what they call it. Can't really help that. So, what you're going to need is you're going to need about a pound and a half of chicken. I like dark meat simply because I think it has more flavor. But you, of course, can use chicken breast, whatever, about 1.5 pounds. This is 2.5, so I'll probably chop up half of this. You're going to need bacon. You're going to need half a stick of Philadelphia cream cheese. You're going to need a cup of sour cream. You're going to need your rigatoni pastas. You're going to need onion. You're going to need chicken broth. You're going to need a little bit of ranch dressing, or if you have a packet of ranch, that's fine. I don't have a packet, so I'm just going to use ranch. It's fine, I promise. You're going to need salt, pepper, and a couple cloves of garlic, and you're going to need your white cheddar cheese, or you can use any other kind of sharp cheddar or whatever you prefer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut up the bacon, and we're going to get this cooked because we're going to need the grease to fry the chicken up. So I'm going to get this started, and I'll be right back. Okay, so once you've got your bacon chopped up, and make sure it just makes it cook even if you go ahead and chop it up now instead of wait until afterwards. We're going to go ahead and start our noodles as well. We only need 10 ounces, so you salt your water, and then once this comes to a boil, I'll pour in this is 16 ounces, so probably a little over half of this. So I'm going to get my bacon started and get my noodles started while I'm cutting up my chicken. Okay, so once your bacon is crispy, you're going to take it out and just put it on a paper towel, just to, get some of the grease out of it. Now you're going to keep the grease in the pot here because you're going to use that to fry your chicken in. So we got the bacon out. Okay. Now, you can slice your chicken or you can dice it. I went ahead and just kind of diced mine. Just because it makes it easier when you go to eat it. So what you're going to do is you're going to brown this. And once you get it browned, you're going to add in your garlic and your salt and pepper. So let me just get this browned. You need to stir it. You can't just kind of let it sit. So this is on a medium high, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and add my salt and pepper. Just kind of sprinkle it over. I don't really measure. So it's hard to say how much. I usually just sprinkle enough to kind of go over the top. And then we're going to finish browning this with the salt and pepper. And then we're going to add our onions and we're going to add our garlic to finish cooking it down. Once the noodles are done, I'm going to drain them and put some cold water on them to stop them from cooking anymore. They need to be al dente. Okay, once the chicken is browned on all sides, we're going to go ahead and add the onion. Now it's about a half an onion. I usually just use this. So I'm going to pour, I don't know, maybe half a cup of onion in here. Okay. So I got my onion. I'm going to stir this up, get the onions translucent. And then we will add our garlic. So let me just get the onions cooked down. I'll be right back. All right, onions are translucent. Just throwing the garlic in, and this is just going to go like a minute. I mean, you're literally just going to cook it like a minute. And I'm going to turn this to medium. It was on a medium high to get everything nice and brown. So I'm going to just stir this up. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to start adding in our ingredients. We're going to add in our 2 cups of chicken broth. We're going to add in our cup of sour cream. It was a little bit less than a cup, but I ran out, so almost a cup of sour cream. Get this stirred up. Gotta add my Philadelphia cream cheese to it. So we got all that in there. I'm going to let this cook down a minute, and then I'm going to add in add some more salt and pepper and some of the ranch. Okay, I got all that stirred in. I'm going to squeeze in about a half a cup of the ranch. I'm going to add some salt and some pepper. I remember where I did my pepper. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some crazy mixed up salts because I just like a little bit more seasoning to my stuff. All right, I'm going to get this stirred. This is going to cook for about 10 minutes or so. Give it time to thicken up, and then I will add in my noodles. Okay, once that's all cooked real good, I'm going to add in some of the bacon. I'm going to save some to sprinkle over the top, but most of it I'm going to go ahead and put in the pot. I'm going to go ahead and put my noodles. And I did about 3 cups of cheese because I like it real cheesy. So I'm going to put a couple of cups in here. And then I'm going to leave about a cup for the top when I put it in the oven. Because, yeah, I'm going to put it in the oven for probably about 15-20 minutes after I get this all mixed in real good and the cheese melted. And then I'm going to sprinkle some cheese and some bacon over the top and let it bake for about, like I said, 15-20 minutes until the cheese gets nice and cooked. I'll be right back. Okay, so I let that simmer for about 5 minutes. And I did have some yellow cheddar cheese too, so I just went ahead and put that with it. I'm going to sprinkle the rest of my bacon. Just kind of sprinkle it over here like that. Don't have to be fancy. And again, the oven's at 350. And then I'm going to sprinkle cheese over the top. And you can finish cooking this on the stove. You don't have to do this part. You could just leave it in the pot and let it simmer until all the juices have kind of thickened up. And if it's not as thick as you like, add some more cheese. The cheese is, you know, it's supposed to be cheesy. So just add you some more cheese. But I like to finish it off in the oven. That's just my preference because I like to have that nice bubbly top. So I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 for, like I said, I'll check it in about 15 minutes. It shouldn't take more than 20. Okay, that cooked for 15 minutes and it got the nice cheese all bubbly and browned on the top. This needs to rest for 5 minutes. Anytime you cook anything in the oven, you usually need to let it rest for at least 5 minutes because as you can see, it is bubbly hot right now. So I'll come back in just a minute. I'll scoop me up a plate and give it a taste. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. I'm gonna dig into this. Oh, look how nice and cheesy that is. Had to grab me a fork. And I wanted it to cool off just a minute before I took a bite. I've got some chicken, I got some bacon, got some noodles. And again, you can use different noodles. You can use rigatoni, penne, even elbow mac. Well, I wouldn't say elbow. Probably shell would be good. So I'm going to give this a taste. That is so good. It's creamy. It's cheesy. You got that little bit of tang from the ranch. And again, if you've got the packet of ranch, you can use that. But overall, flavor-wise, the packet or pouring some of the sauce in there, you're going to get that ranch tang. But you also taste the bacon. You taste the chicken. I mean, it's just, it really is. It's a full meal in one pan. And you don't have to put it in the oven. Like I said, you could just do it this way. But takes overall probably 45 minutes to an hour to make. So if y'all have any other questions, y'all let me know. If not, enjoy, y'all.